Hi, I'm going to be talking about the Lipstick Queen Cinna range again, and now I'm going to be talking about the more dramatic lipsticks in the range. The one that I have on at the moment is called Red, and okay, I'm wearing a bright pink sort of cardi dress at the moment, but if you forget my dress and just look at my lips, it's in this classic vintage colour, which is the classic vintage red. Now, I don't know what's happening where you are, but here in London, vintage has been something that's been very, very fashionable ever since perhaps even the 1990s, ever since Kerry Bradshaw was in Sex and the City. Everyone's been doing vintage. There are vintage shops everywhere. And yesterday, when I was doing a workshop, because I'm doing a lot of writing at the moment, I went to a writer's retreat yesterday. And when I walked into the room, there were two girls wearing vintage clothes and had their hair in sort of vintage, in a vintage style, very stylized vintage style, and they were both wearing vintage red lipstick. So I just say that if you wanted to channel your inner pin-up girl or glamorous vintage 50s or 40s diva, you perhaps might like to think about having a go wearing the Lipstick Queen Red lipstick, because it is the most vibrant classic vintage red. And the nice thing about it is that I think it would suit all skin types. Now, this is how it looks on my hands, and see, I don't think it matters whether this red is it's a blue red and it's an orange red. It's got both tones in it, so I think it's pretty much going to suit everyone across the board. And on my lips, it looks very vibrant because I think the blue tones tend to stand out on my lips, and on someone else's lips it might look different, but essentially you'll get the full matte red lipstick vibrant thing going on, the pin-up poster girl look. And this is the sort of thing that maybe Betty Page or perhaps Marilyn Monroe or Vivian Leigh would wear in the 40s. And this is what it looks like on a piece of paper. It's so strong. It's gorgeous. And be warned, if you do go to your department store to buy these lipsticks, they do look a lot darker in the case, but that's not the case when you put them on your hands and on your lips. The colours tend to stand out a lot more. So I'm going to now put on Wine Cinna. Now I have on Wine Cinna, and you can see that it's just a shade darker, well, quite several shades darker than the red, and it is just like red wine, I think. I really love it. This was one of the first ones I bought, along with the Rose Cinna. I think the Wine Cinna is great because actually it's quite, even though it's dark, it's something that you can wear every day during the day. I probably wouldn't wear the Red Cinna every day unless I wanted to make a statement. And this is a little bit more subtle, even though it's strong. And okay, one of the reasons why I'm talking about lipsticks is that I think my lips are probably my strongest feature on my face. So I like playing them up, especially in the winter time when, you know, everyone's looking washed out. It's really great to play up lovely bold colours on your lips. The other thing that I don't know whether I mentioned when I was talking about the red lipstick was these lipsticks in the Cinna range are totally matte. They're 90% matte, and they're also really creamy, and they stay on forever. They stay on through one dinner and one cup of tea, so that's pretty good. I think there's I think it's very good value when a lipstick can stay on this long, and I get really tired of reapplying my lipstick, especially when I go to parties and when I'm having dinner. I really, really don't like it because I might as well have not even bothered putting on my makeup if it all comes off. But I love wine also because it's kind of nostalgic for me. My mother bought me a lipstick by Estee Lauder in this colour when I was about 12 or 13 maybe, and it was one of the first lipstick colours that I ever had. And I think the Estee Lauder colour was a very similar colour to wine, which is this one here. And wine looks, again, as I mentioned, pretty dark in the case. In fact, it looks very different in the case than it does on my lips. But as I said before, it seems to transform itself once it's on your lips. And as Poppy King says, who's the creator of these products, a good lipstick colour will just almost give your face a facelift when you put it on. So now this is the wine colour, the one in the middle here, and you can compare it to the red. It's lovely. It's really a real red wine, burgundy wine colour, I think. So on to the last one that I have in this range, and the last one is called Berry. Hi, this is the last lipstick I'm going to be talking about in the Lipstick Sinner range, and this is Berry, and I really, really love this colour. I was really scared and shocked by it when I was in the shop because I just thought it was too dark on me, but I started to wear it a bit more soon after I bought it, and I don't think it's too dark on me. It looks quite dark on my hand, you see. It looks like a really weird chocolatey browny colour. But actually it doesn't look chocolate brown on my lips, it just looks like a rich toasted red, a dark toasted red, I'd describe it as. A very dark berry colour, which is what it's called. And it's lovely, it's very sophisticated and interesting, and it reminds me of the sort of colours that maybe Katharine Hepburn would wear, or maybe Lorraine Bacall. Those Hollywood actresses who were very glamorous yet very womanly and seductive in the 1940s. Not really the same kind of bling as Marilyn Monroe, more sophisticated, and this is the kind of look. At the same time, I think in the 1930s there were flapper girls around, and there's been a lot on television here in London about Art Deco. In the 1920s, things really changed. Everything became super decadent because in 1910, Queen Victoria in the UK was still, I don't know, on her last legs. And lipstick was seen to be really super decadent, and women would go into shops and just say very quietly, "Could I have a lipstick, please?" And it would be seen to be really racy. But I think once Queen Victoria died in the 1920s, and also after the First World War was such a depressing time, and I think women just wanted to I think it was the equivalent of throwing your bras off, like in the 1960s. I think that women just wanted to revel in being a woman and go out and party and have fun. How long do you know you're going to live after the First World War if all your friends or your male friends and your brothers have died? So lipstick and fashion and just partying and drinking loads and being really decadent and live for the day was really popular, and I think that this is the kind of colour that they would have worn. At the same time, I'm sure that they wore reds, but I think that in the 1920s up until the 1950s, they loved wearing these quite dramatic colours that I've just shown you now. The red, the wine, and this berry colour. So I'm really loving these colours, and I think that, as I said, I love the way the creator of Lipstick Queen thinks about the past, looks at classic images that are still stylish and beautiful and have remained icons of today. Yeah, be bold, go for it, and wear some intense colour if you fancy it. And if you don't, well, don't, but you know, you can really have fun and try out things other than pinks and nudes, because I'm just a little bit tired of nude lipsticks. Maybe they don't suit me. But anyway, okay, I'll catch up with you soon, and Twitter me or catch up with me and say hello on Twitter or check out my blog, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.